Right, I don't know if this is the right height. Long story here. I'm just recently returned from Canada after being away for 26 years, and I was getting withdrawal symptoms because I don't have a motorcycle, and it was driving me nuts. So I actually found one. I was looking for something that I could ride, something interesting, but nothing really much floating my boat. I've got three motorcycles in Canada. I've got a Triumph Rocket 3 and a Triumph Bonneville T140 and an old Daytona 68 Daytona chopper. Unfortunately, I got it like that and I just let it go. And now I've got a. Well, I'll show you what I've got. I hope this is going to come out okay because it's a bit gloomy in here. But everything's in chaos because I literally unloaded the car last night and just threw it all in here. But anyway, this is what I've got. So what I've got, further away from here, is it's a 1967 BSA Lightning A65 650 unit construction twin, and as you can see it could probably use a bit of polish and a few bits bolted back on. It's in rough shape. But it's pretty much complete. The only thing it's missing the rear mudguard. It's missing the tail light. It's one of those lovely Lucas Beehive lights, which I love. It's missing the bracket for the speedometer and tach. Although I do have the speedometer and tach. So these are all the parts. There's extra parts actually. There's all sorts of extra bits and pieces that I haven't really figured out. I seem to have lots of footrests for some reason. Interesting. This is an interesting conrod. You can see how it's. I don't know if you can see it, but somebody ran the rod on this one, and it's all scored at the bottom, so that's done. But this isn't part of this bike, fortunately. There's an extra piston there. The head's there. All the valves are there. The primary chain isn't done. I can probably. Have to get a new primary chain, but that's okay, it's a service item. Seems like the original. I should tell you the history of it. It came from Troon Motorcycles. Troon, which is in Ayrshire, is that right? I'm actually in Argyll and Bute. And this motorcycle had two previous owners. I've got the old buff logbooks for the two previous owners, and a V5, the old V5. And so two owners from new, genuine, 15,000 miles, as you can see from here, look. I don't know if you can see that, but yeah, 15,000 miles. Buffalo books. I think this oil, this came off one of the bike because it's full of debris. This is from the one that ran the bearing, I think. And yeah, as I say, two owners. It's got the original toolkit, which has got tools in it, which is absolutely astonishing. There it is. It just doesn't have the handbook, the owner's manual. But it's all there. Headlight, license plate. The tank, it's not dented, but it's not pretty. And somebody at some point has cut it open, or they've just welded it. So you can just see it on there. So that will need treatment. It's got the original taps. I'm missing a plunger, but that's okay. I've got more of those. I'm going to try and fix that. And this tank, this is the ugly side. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. The last A65 I had, what I did was well, that one was dented, and I actually filled it, and then the silver part, the chrome part, I painted it black, gloss black, and then I put a red and black. It actually looked quite good, so I might do the same. This side's way better, although you can see there's evidence of some kind of, not sure what's going on there, there's a little, but it's not bad. I can live with that. So what I might do is I might clean all this up. That's lead, it's been leaded in there. Clean this up, polish it on the bench polisher, very lightly sand it, and try clear coating it. See how that pans out. I should explain that my intention with this bike is not a full restoration. I could throw I could probably throw £3,000 at it, no problem. 4,000 maybe. Make it better than new. But I don't want to do that. I'm going to do what they refer to in Britain as an oily rag restoration. So basically reusing whatever parts I can, cleaning them up. I'm going to rebuild the engine with new parts, and just basically make the bike as good as I can with the parts that I've got. You know, the headlight, for example, the headlight bucket, you know, it's pitted. It's got the original amateur, switchgear, main beam light, but it's pitted. But I'm going to use it because it's actually perfectly sound, it's good inside. Nothing wrong with that at all. I did wonder whether to actually paint all the chrome parts black. I don't know. The old dip switch there, that one's a bit tired, but I've got a new one over there. The old Xena diode pack. I love those heat sinks. Absolutely wonderful. I've got a whole bin full of rectifiers. I very rarely find that they fail, they're usually pretty good. Rectifiers either work or they don't, and they're easy enough to check. More bits. This is the crankcases. As you can see, it looks like it's been buried in the Atlantic for the last 20 years. But everything works, everything turns over, the transmission turns over, it even shifts gear. It's rusty, but that's not a problem, I can sort that out. All this stuff here, even the kickstart ratchet, looks like hell, but it actually works, and the little selector pins, they still spring in and out. Camshaft's looking a bit grungy, but I think I can bring that round. I'm going to wire brush it, absolutely saturated with oil. A65s are a bit notorious for actually wearing out the cams. But this one actually seems right. I've got a feeling I've got one in Canada still. I've got one over there. 2 oil tanks, no idea why. The seat was rough. The cover was actually in one piece, believe it or not. It wasn't ripped, but it was just as hard as Bakelite, and you can see the foam there. It's absolutely... The jury's out on that, but I'm probably going to bin that and try and make a new replacement. This is the seat. It's the hump seat. It's, yeah, it's rusty. But, you know, I'm going to wire brush it, treat it with some you know, anti-rust solution, weld in a few little plates here and there where it's rusted through or it's broken through. There's the front wheel. The worst problem with this bike are the rims. The front is pretty rough. The front usually are the roughest because they're obviously open to the elements. And I think that's probably too far gone for me to save. I could try, but I think that's too far gone. It's a bit sad, but I've got rims also in Canada. Same with the mudguard. That'll clean up. I actually started cleaning the exhaust this morning. So there's 2, obviously, original, A65. The headers are actually in good shape. Amazingly, they're actually totally reusable. The mufflers, they're acid, this one's acid etched. It's destroyed the chrome, but and it had a fair bit of rust on it, and you can see the guy was obviously very enthusiastic riding it, because if you look underneath, you can see where he's actually grounded the exhaust pipe, so he's obviously been making full use of its handling capabilities through the lanes of Ayrshire and Argyll and Bute. That one I haven't cleaned up yet. It came with 2 spare Dunstall replicas, but I'm probably going to bin those. Well, I'll sell them, I don't want those. It's got both the side panels, which is good, they're hard to get. So I'm very pleased about that. Not a match set, who cares? I mean, they're left and right, I'll just paint them. Yeah, a bit more rust there. Centre stand, which I was amazed at, because I rebuilt one of these 2 or 3 years ago, and things like centre stands, they're all missing off it. I bought that one in, it came from Michigan, I think. Rear tyre, yeah, perhaps I'll change it. This rim is done. Absolutely fried to bits. I've never seen one as bad. I don't know where this bike was, but I'm going to guess it was outside under a tarp, which is the worst possible scenario. The shocks. I don't know. I'm going to think about that. I could paint them and clean them up, but I'll see. And yeah, the rest of the bike, I mean the frame's good and straight, there's no dents on it. I had one where I didn't realise, but the frame was actually distorted. When I came to put the main mounting bolt through, right through from the base here, they wouldn't line up. Even though this part, there was a dent there, I remember that. There was a dent just there. And so I had to actually tip the bike upside down with the engine in and cut that part of the frame off and then basically redo it, rejig it, and put it all back together. But it actually came out good in the end. Matching numbers bike, this one. Engine and frame. The crankshaft's down here. The rods are on it. And then obviously I'll put new rod bearings in. I don't know why it was taken apart, because the tongue side main bearing hasn't got any wear on it, as far as I can tell. There's no wear lip there, nothing. So it's strange that the guy took it apart, because there's nothing wrong with it. The pistons are good. It's missing its thrust washer in there, which is annoying, because that's okay. But everything else is there. I've checked all the engine bits. Old Amel monoblocks, which actually are really nice carbs once you get them set up. They actually work really well. Way better than those piece of junk concentrics that they fitted later. And you can clean them right out, so you don't have the idle jet issues with those. So that's basically it. This is phase one. Start of the cleanup. As you can see, the forks need new seals in, but they're straight as far as I can tell. I'm going to take them off the wheel. Yeah, I'm going to keep that original drum on there. I did wonder, because I've got a twin leading shoe conical front drum which I thought about fitting, but I'm going to keep it stock because it's such a stock bike. I mean, the engine, all the bolts, everything on it are all as fitted at the factory. There's nothing been changed. So I'm probably going to use all those again. I'm just going to clean all up, get them replated or something like that, and use them all again. But yeah, so basically this is the first of the nut and bolt oily rag restoration. I'm just going to make it look as pretty as I can with all the old bits, the old tank, the old exhaust, maybe the shocks, not sure, but new rims for sure, because those rims are done and they're probably not even safe, especially the back ones. The spokes are done. Yeah, the spokes are absolutely rusted through on there. Too bad, because actually it's unusual for the wheels to be so bad as that. But as I say, in Canada I think I've got 3 rims. I've got an 18-inch back and 2 19-inch front rims, so that's not a problem. And that's about it for now. 19-tooth gearbox sprocket, that's going to be changed for a 20-tooth. The other thing that's missing, apart from the main bearing thrust washer, is the drive side main bearing, but that's okay because I'm probably going to change it anyway. They're actually pretty tough. They very rarely go on these, but the timing side is a different story. But the drive side, they just last forever. But I don't have one here, so that's going to have to be replaced. I think I have one in Canada. Got a whole bunch of big 65 parts from previous restoration. Anyway, that's it for now. So there'll be more later. This is part 1, as I say, of the A65 oily rag restoration. There'll be no... You know what, I might even try and... Yeah, I might as well change those. They're a pain to change when the forks are back on, so I may as well. But a lot of the rubber weight, even the knee pads for the tank, they're actually perfectly usable. They're not split or anything, and they're actually still quite soft. They just need cleaning up. Black shoe polish is the best thing for those, or armour or something. The chain guard I did clean up, and it's rough. I cleaned it up with wire wool, and then I coated it with oil, and then I'm probably going to polish it on a bench polisher, and then put it on. I'll paint the bottom part, put that on. I think that's perfectly usable, as is the exhaust system. But anyway, I'm not going to go on about it. That's it for now. Thank you for watching.